Instrumental phonetics. The analysis of speech by means of instrument. So in instrumental phonetics we use different machines to analyze the speech. So this is a quantitative approach to analysis. So this may be acoustic or auditory. So we may be studying acoustic phonetics or articulatory phonetics. We use different machines, computers and other machines to understand the exact nature of the human speech sound. Instrumental phonetics is a quantitative approach. So it's as I said, it's a quantitative approach, so we can very precisely know that what it is that takes place while producing different sounds. It attempts to characterize speech in terms of measurement and numbers rather than by relying on listeners' impressions. So with the help of these machines we can very precisely know the nature of the sounds, and we can measure. For example, if I produce a p, so what is the time duration of this sound? Obviously the duration of this sounds will differ from a native speakers, or unless I have practiced it in the same manner. So we can know all these very complex aspects through this instrumental phonetics. So we use different instruments for understanding different types of sounds at different places in the oral cavity or the vocal tract. So best for acoustic analysis has been sound spectrogram. So sound spectrogram was used for acoustic analysis of the sounds. Many instruments are used now, for example radiographer. So these are the X-ray machines which were used by Daniel Jones first to understand the nature of the vowels, especially because vowels have been always very difficult to understand, because contrary to the consonants which were easier to understand because their place was easier to understand, whereas the place of the vowels were very difficult. So he used X-ray machines to understand the exact nature of the vowels. So laryngoscopy, so it helps us, this instrument help us a lot in understanding the exact nature of the vocal cords. It is a camera attached with a tube that can be inserted through the nose, and we can look at the whole vocal tract up till this larynx, so we can know how folds move, what is the situation when they are making a voiceless sound or voiced sound. So Plateau Grapher. So this Plateau Grapher is very helpful for the phonetician to know that when the tongue makes certain contacts with the palate during the palatal sounds, so which part of the tongue is exactly involved in producing different sounds. For example, alveolar sound, affricate sounds, approximants, and all these different sounds. So how does the tongue touch or goes close to the upper roof of the mouth? So Plateau Grapher, so it helps us in understanding what is taking place in glottis, so we can know a lot about these the things taking place in the glottis. So measurement of airflow from vocal tract and of air pressure within it also give us valuable indirect picture of other aspects of articulation. So when we measure airflow, we can understand how different sounds are produced. We can understand the quality of different sounds, how they are different from each other, and we can also understand the characteristics of the native speakers' speech sound from the non-native speakers' speech sounds. Not all the instrumental studies are experimental. It's generally believed that instrumental studies which are done are experimental studies, or they are of the experimental phonetics. When a theory or hypothesis is being tested under controlled condition, the research is experimental. But if one simply makes a measurement using instruments, this is not the case. So when we are studying making any controlled research, so we are actually concerned with experimental studies. But if we are not researching in the way when the things around us are controlled, when we are making a controlled research, so we are not in experimental studies.